53 shot, 7 dead in Chicago as Trump threatens to deploy National Guard. Chicago endured another violent Labor Day weekend, with at least 53 people shot and 7 killed in a wave of gunfire across the city. The shootings unfolded as former President Donald Trump escalated threats to send federal agents and National Guard troops into Chicago, despite pushback from Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. The surge of violence spanned neighborhoods across the city, including Bronzeville, South Shore, East Garfield Park, Altgeld Gardens, Pilsen, West Englewood, Pullman, Little Village, and Oakland. The youngest victim was a 17-year-old girl, shot inside her own home when a stray bullet pierced her window. Trump's warning to Illinois leaders. On Saturday, Trump issued a fiery post on his social media platform, singling out Governor Pritzker. "He better straighten it out fast or we're coming." The statement followed weeks of repeated threats by Trump to take control of Chicago's crime situation. He has compared his proposed action to his recent move in Washington, D.C., where he declared a public safety emergency and placed the city's police force under temporary federal control. Governor Pritzker quickly condemned the threat, calling Trump's plan unprecedented and unwarranted. "It is illegal, it is unconstitutional, it is un-American." Mayor Brandon Johnson echoed those concerns, warning that militarizing the streets could inflame tensions between residents and law enforcement. On Saturday, Johnson went further, signing an executive order titled the Protecting Chicago Initiative, which directs the city's law department to fight any federal overreach in court. "We have credible reports that we have days, not weeks, before our city sees some type of militarized activity by the federal government," Johnson said. "We must take immediate action to protect our people." Timeline of shootings. Between Friday 10:30 p.m. and Monday 3:10 a.m., police reported 31 separate shootings across Chicago. Bronzeville mass shooting. The most high-profile incident happened just hours after Trump's Saturday post. Around 11:10 p.m., a car pulled up on South State Street in Bronzeville and opened fire on a crowd gathered outside. 7 victims wounded, 5 men, 2 women, ages 28 to 32. All survived with non-life-threatening injuries to their legs. No suspects arrested. This mass shooting drew immediate national attention, fueling debate over Trump's warnings. First homicide, South Shore. The weekend's first fatal shooting took place Friday night, just before midnight in South Shore. Victim, 25-year-old woman shot in the stomach and leg, later died at University of Chicago Medical Center. A 23-year-old woman was also wounded but survived. Police questioned a person of interest but no arrests announced. East Garfield Park shooting. Saturday morning in East Garfield Park, 2 men were shot when a dark SUV pulled up and a gunman opened fire. 29-year-old man killed after multiple gunshots. 32-year-old man wounded but stable. Shooter fled the scene. Altgeld Gardens homicide. Later that evening in Altgeld Gardens, 5 armed men ambushed a 43-year-old woman standing outside her home. Victim suffered multiple gunshots. She died at Christ Hospital. No arrests made. Pilsen triple shooting. Just after 1:30 a.m. Sunday, 3 men were targeted in Pilsen. 46-year-old man killed instantly. 2 others, 41 and 43 years old, shot in the legs, hospitalized in stable condition. West Englewood killing. At 2:52 a.m. Sunday, a 33-year-old man was killed inside a residence after an argument escalated. He was shot in the head. Pronounced dead at the scene. No arrests announced. Pullman fatal shooting. Sunday evening, a 26-year-old woman was shot in the chest during an argument in Pullman. She died at the University of Chicago Medical Center. Little Village homicide. Later that night in Little Village, officers discovered a man dead from multiple gunshot wounds on South Drake Avenue. Oakland shooting, 5 wounded. Early Monday morning, one of the weekend's final shootings erupted in Oakland during a large street disturbance. 5 victims shot, including a 17-year-old boy in critical condition. Police recovered 4 guns at the scene. 1 person of interest detained, no charges yet filed. The political firestorm. The wave of violence has given Trump a new opening to advance his law and order agenda as the 2026 midterms approach. His push to deploy federal troops to Chicago has triggered intense debate. Supporters argue that Chicago's violent weekends show the need for extraordinary intervention. Critics, including legal experts, warned that sending National Guard troops without state approval could violate constitutional limits. Governor Pritzker said Trump's proposal amounts to an attempt to occupy a U.S. city to punish dissidents and score political points. Chicago crime trends. Ironically, the weekend shootings come despite data showing overall crime is down in Chicago. Shootings, down 37% in the first half of 2025, compared to 2024. Homicides, down 32%. Overall violent crime, down 22%. Experts caution, however, that while long-term trends are improving, high-profile weekends of violence, especially during holidays, fuel public fears and political battles. What comes next? Both Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson have vowed to resist Trump's attempts at federal intervention. Legal scholars expect a showdown in court if Trump moves forward. Meanwhile, Chicago police remain stretched thin, investigating more than 30 separate crime scenes from the Labor Day weekend alone. Residents in hard-hit neighborhoods expressed frustration that the political fight is overshadowing their immediate safety concerns. "We hear about Trump and Pritzker fighting, but people here are just trying to survive," said a Bronzeville resident near the mass shooting site. Others worry that federal troops could worsen tensions, recalling protests in 2020 when clashes between police and demonstrators turned violent. Conclusion: Chicago's Labor Day weekend left 53 people wounded and 7 dead, reigniting national debates about urban violence, policing, and federal authority. For Trump, the violence reinforces his narrative of democratic cities failing to keep order. For Pritzker and Johnson, it underscores the danger of outside political interference. As lawsuits loom and tensions rise, Chicago residents remain caught in the middle, living through the reality behind the headlines. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.